What's up, everybody? Jesse here. My butt still hurts from the last video because of how I've been laying. I've been laying in my chair, where I have my feet laying up against that, and I just slide down a bit where I'm kind of like this. I'm down here, and it's kind of laying, but after a bit, it starts to hurt your tailbone. So my tailbone's hurting like crazy. And I gotta get back up. It's more comfortable doing the videos like this. So this is part 2 of dramatic reading of Sweet Apple Acres, part 2. I think I already said part 2. Oh. I will pause it a few times if I need to talk. This way you can hear the story and hear me. And if I talk during the video, I'll just go back a few seconds to do it. Hey, what does that say over there? How about, or something like that. Rain boom your shit. How about rain boom your shit? Oh, I think it's how about I rain boom your shit. You know? I might do a reaction to that too. But I've also got a whole lot more videos that I can react to. Because I found a new guy and he has tons of Minecraft mods and tons of other videos. So I can make reactions of what I think of those mods and other stuff. So since this one's short, I could talk more. But here we go. I'm glad I'm not like ratchetness where I talk. I'll talk after the video. So it's dramatic reading, Sweet Apple Acres, part 2.
Hello and welcome to part 2 of Sweet Apple Massacre.
Shit.
I am Michael Delacornelius.
Give me a sec. That's better. I was shutting off my heater because it would make it hard to hear it. Well, and not quite the charge cord. I didn't fully shut it off. I just turned down its temperature limit. I'll turn it back up after the video.
Mike the microphone here to bring you the second half of Sweet Apple Massacre by I don't fucking know. Here we go.
I wonder if it's the actual Mike the microphone, and not just someone else. I don't know.
Oh, part 2 of Sweet Apple Massacre. He turned his attention back to Apple Bloom and in his nails and wrapped them around her neck, still fucking the filly. And with his front hooves, he pulled and pulled until it was wrapped so tightly around Apple Bloom's neck that it broke her windpipe. She was now surely dead, but Big Macintosh continued fucking her furiously until her body began to lose form and collapse into a quivering, amorphous mass of fur and blood and flesh. The perennial spun away, leaving a single red and raw gaping void. He carried on until he was fucking nothing but a single swollen and bloody orifice, and then discarded his baby sister's carcass as though she were nothing more than a rotten apple core. He then took the knife and grabbed Sweetie Belle and tossed her aside. He forced himself into Scootaloo's ruined anus, and then took the knife and cut from her ass in a sweeping motion up to her belly, and all her innards fell out. He then grabbed her head, twisted and tore it clean off, using immense strength, and fucked it in the mouth and then tossed it aside. He then had sex with her headless body, both in the vagina and the ass, until he got bored. Sweetie Belle was the last remaining cutie mark crusader. She was herself barely conscious, overcome with the nauseous stench of blood, shit, and piss that covered her horn and her face. Big Macintosh pinned Sweetie Belle down with his hoof and plunged the knife into her green eye and tweaked it, causing vitreous fluid to dribble out onto the handle.
Damn.
At that, Sweetie Belle let out a throaty whine and involuntarily emptied her bowels, and the aroma of fresh urine and feces filled the apple cellar once again. He withdrew the knife and did the same to the other eye, each time holding her tight and sticking his hoof into her mouth to silence her agonized screams. He licked the vitreous fluid that had leaked out onto the knife, and then methodically began cutting and hacking at her front left hoof using the rusty knife. The knife was quite blunt, so it took a Herculean effort to get through the skin, bone, and cartilage, but eventually the bone splintered and the leg came off. He did the same to her other legs until all 4 were amputated and nothing remained but with slimy white ligaments and broken bone shards hanging out. At some point, Sweetie Belle had passed out, the overwhelming pain too much for her to bear. He then used the knife to gouge out her left eye and jammed his penis into her eye socket, penetrating repeatedly deep into her brain, enjoying how tight her skull felt around his hard shaft and how warm and squishy the brain matter felt against the tip of his throbbing penis. As he did, he twisted Sweetie Belle's neck. After he had finished skull fucking her, he cracked open her skull with a swift
That's just weird.
He swallowed and then raped Sweetie Belle in the ass until it tore open and his engorged penis was smeared with what little fecal matter remained in her rectum. He took one of Sweetie Belle's detached legs and shoved it inside her ass, and then fucked Apple Bloom and Scootaloo's body the same way, forcing the amputated limb in, hook first, as far as it could go. He thought how strange it was that the still lump of torn flesh that he was fucking with Sweetie Belle's leg had been so vibrant and alive.
That is just weird.
But now, all three were dead, and he finished by spurting his voluminous load into Apple Bloom's destroyed backside. He watched with satisfaction as the semen and blood and shit mixed together, forming a foamy maroon. He bent down and...
That's Applejack, but if you look at the main color, it doesn't look like Applejack. Because her mane is yellow, but that's bluish. The outline's yellow, but the rest is blue. That's just messed up.
Greedily lapped up some of it with his tongue, pressing his tongue deep into her anal cavity so as not to miss any, letting some dribble down his chin. It tasted foul, of course, a rancid, tangy slime that burned his throat, but it felt so satisfying. He swallowed the filthy goo and wiped his mouth with a hook. It was done. Big Macintosh would finally get his peace and quiet. Big Macintosh, you down there? It was Applejack. He looked at the disfigured corpses of the three fillies, all now barely recognized.
Don't like music. Oh, don't like music? Don't like music? Sucks to be you.
As the oh-so-sweet cutie mark crusaders, and realized he felt strangely unsatisfied. It had all been a bit too quick and easy. Now Applejack, that would be a challenge.
Shit.
She was Ponyville's best athlete after all. She even had the prize pony of Ponyville trophy to prove it. And, of course, he still hadn't forgiven her for that injury. He felt his penis stiffen once again in anticipation. Hey, Big Mac, I said, are you down there? Came Applejack's lilting voice again, this time more insistent. Big Macintosh replied serenely. I sure am, sis. Hey, come down here a minute. I've got something to show you. Sure thing. What is it? It's a surprise. Oh, boy, I sure do love surprises. Nice, I bet. Something real nice. Big Macintosh looked at the mangled, mutilated remains of the cutie mark crusader and curled into a thin smile. Yup. Well, that
What the hell?
was an enchanting story, I must admit. I hope you all enjoyed it, because I certainly did. Now, if you excuse me, I have a really weird phone to get rid of. Bye-bye.
That was just messed up. And I didn't want to hear what happened to Applejack. That was just weird, and some parts were funny as hell. Just so fucking funny. One guy actually said this was worse than Bad Dragon. So, if it is, Bad Dragon isn't that bad. Might actually search it up. Or some people say it's like pony raping or pony sex dolls. And they like sell them. But that was just weird. Damn, I forgot what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. Crap, forgot. Oh well, this was Dramatic Reading of Sweet Apple Acres Part 2.